Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari 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 Srimad Paramahansa Parivrajacharya Ashtottara Shata Shri Srimad His Divine Grace Abhay Charanaravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Om Srimad Paramahansa Parivrajacharya Ashtottara Shata Shri Srimad His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Nitai Gaur Premanande Granth Shrimadbhagavatam Ki Hare Krishna. We are reading from Shrimadbhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 9, Passing Away of Bhishma Deva in the presence of Lord Krishna. Let us start with invocation prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayanam Namaskrityam
Narayanam
Naram Saiva Narottamam
Narottamam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Tato Jaya Mudirayet Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. Welcome to Devasad Mandir. Shrimadbhagavatam reading. We are reading from Canto 1, Chapter 9, The Passing Away of Bhishma Deva. Text 12. Aho Kastam Aho Annayam Aho Kastam Aho Anyayam Yad Yuyam Dharma Nandanaha Yad Yuyam Dharma Nandana Jivitam Narhata Klishtam Jivitum Narhata Klishtam Vipra Dharmachyutashraya Vipra Dharmachyutashraya Aho Kastam Aho Anyayam Yad Yuyam Dharma Nandana Jivitum Narhata Klishtam Vipra Dharmachyutashraya Aho Kastam Aho Nyayam Yad Yuyam Dharma Nandana Jivitum Narhata Klishtam Vipra Dharmachyutashraya. Anyone want to repeat?
Aho Kastam Aho Nyayam
Aho Kastam Aho Nyayam
Yadyuyam Dharmanandana
Yadyuyam Dharmanandana
Jivitum Narhata Klishtam Vipra
Dharmachyutashraya. We'll go word by word. Aho O Kastam What terrible sufferings. Aho O Anyayam What terrible injustice. Yat Because Yuyam all of you good souls Dharmanandanaha sons of religion personified Jivitum to remain alive now never arhata, deserve, kleshtam, suffering, vipra, brahmanas, dharma, piti, achyuta, God, ashraya, being protected by. Aho kastam aho nyayam yadyuyam dharmanandanaha jivitum narhata kleshtam vipra dharma achyutashraya. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Abhay Charanaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. Translation. Bhishma Deva said, "Oh, what terrible sufferings and what terrible injustice you good souls suffer for being the sons of religion personified. You did not deserve to remain alive under those tribulations, yet you are protected by the Brahmanas, God and religion." Please repeat. Bhishma Deva said, "Oh, what terrible sufferings and what terrible injustice you good souls suffer for being the sons of religion personified. You did not deserve to remain alive under those tribulations, yet you were protected by the Brahmanas, God and religion." Purport. Maharaja Yudhishthira was disturbed due to the great massacre in the battle of Kurukshetra. Bhishma Deva could understand this, and therefore he spoke first of the terrible sufferings of Maharaja Yudhishthira. He was put into difficulty by injustice only, and the battle of Kurukshetra was fought just to counteract this injustice. Therefore, he should not regret the great massacre. He wanted to point out particularly that they were always protected by the Brahmanas, the Lord, and religious principles. As long as they were protected by these three important items, there was no cause of disappointment. Thus, Bhishma Deva encouraged Maharaja Yudhishthira to dissipate his despondency. As long as a person is fully in cooperation with the wishes of Lord, guided by the bona fide Brahmanas and Vaishnavas, and strictly following religious principles, one has no cause for despondency. However trying the circumstances of life, Bhishma Deva, as one of the authorities in the line, wanted to impress this point upon Pandavas. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshuranmalitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurum Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Paridana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Sta He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Krupa Sindhubhya Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. We are reading from Shrimadbhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 9, The Passing Away of Bhishma Deva in the Presence of Lord Krishna. Text 12. I will go through translation once again. Bhishma Deva said, "Oh, what terrible sufferings and what terrible injustice you good souls suffer for being the sons of religion personified. You did not deserve to remain alive under those tribulations, yet you are protected by the Brahmanas, God and religion. So, beginning of this chapter, we have seen how so many saintly sages and so many famous personalities have come to see Bhishma Deva. And in yesterday class, we have seen the sons of Maharaj Pandu were sitting silently near Bhishma Deva, overtaken with affection for their dying grandfather. Seeing this, Bhishma Deva congratulated them, feeling and there were also tears of ecstasy in his eyes, for he was overwhelmed with love and affection. Bhishma Deva was after the war, he was in terrible condition, like he was lying on the bed of arrows, made of arrows. Imagine the battlefield of Kurukshetra now being very silent after a huge war, and the conch shells have been seized. The dust has been settled, and Bhishma Deva lies on bed of arrows. Pandavas, leading by Maharaja Yudhishthira, stood in front of him, victorious outwardly, but they were tormented inwardly because of guilt, and due to this massacre happened, the Maharaja Yudhishthira himself felt a lot of grief. Even though Krishna is present over there, he was not convinced because he was, in order to put him onto the throne, there were circumstances of killing millions of people, almost 640 millions of people in just span of 18 years. So he's feeling a lot of grief, and Bhishma Deva now revealing all his kingly dharma, like what he has to do, what he should not feel grief, and that whatever they have done is justice, and because he was the righteous person and he was the righteous ruler to rule the Hastinapur and the Kuru dynasty. So Yudhishthira feels responsible for the war's destruction, and Bhishma Deva perceives this pain. So before speaking philosophy, Bhishma first consoles him with empathy. So today's verse, we are seeing even the most righteous souls, when they walk in the path of Dharma, they face a lot of struggles, sufferings. But still, the Lord's protection never leaves them. Lord is always with them. And whoever takes shelter of Lord has the protection of Lord guaranteed. So today we are going to see main sections like the pain of righteous person, Bhishma's compassion and perspective. And next we are going to see the secret of protection, like in the purport Srila Prabhupada mentioned, like the three main important aspects of protection, like Vipra, Dharma, Achyuta, Brahmana, religion and God. And then we are gonna see Bhishma Deva's instruction to Yudhishthira, the path beyond it. Jai Shri RadhaKund Bihari Jai Jagannath Jai Baldev Jai Shri Gaurnitai Ki Jai. And then at last we are gonna see today is an auspicious day of the appearance of RadhaKund, Bahulashtami. So we're gonna read the glory of Bahulashtami and how the RadhaKund has been appeared. Starting with the Bhishma Deva, the pain of righteous, Bhishma Deva's compassion and Bhishma Deva's perspective. So first, understanding Bhishma's emotion. Bhishma Deva isn't speaking from theory. He watched many experiences. He had many experiences in his throughout lifetime. He has undergone several situations and circumstances, and many injustices that took place in the Hastinapur towards Pandavas over decades. We all know in the Mahabharata how the Pandavas faced many tribulations, like in the young age only, Duryodhana and his party, like his co-brothers, tried to kill Bhima by poisoning him and by throwing into a river or pond. So, and that, even then later also, like they were trying to gain the kingdom, they were trying to get the position of prince and later to king. And even when Bhishmadeva did not agree for making Duryodhana as prince, because as the custom is like, whoever is the eldest of all sons in the dynasty, they has to be the next king. So eventually Maharaja Yudhishthira, he is the eldest of all Kuru dynasty, both in Pandavas and Kauravas. He is the eldest. So he is the right person to be as king, and he is a qualified person. So Duryodhana, being envy and he's been attached to the position of king, he's been developed the hatred, and he has been done many injustice towards them. And after that, like after even making Yudhishthira as prince, they visited a wax. They were in a wax palace for some time, and then this Duryodhana made a plot to burn them alive, but still, due to the mercy of Krishna and Vidura, they were being escaped from that tribulation. And after that, after a certain period of time, they returned back to the kingdom, and Bhishmadeva was very happy by looking at them, because Bhishmadeva did not even expect he did not lose hope, because they were righteous and Krishna is always protecting them. And after coming also, they took as the prince came, and there were some circumstances to split the kingdom among Pandavas and Kauravas, and Bhishmadeva did not like, but still he has to do because of some political reasons. And Pandavas got the kingdom of Indraprastha, and they were doing Radhasuyagna. And still Duryodhana is not satisfied with what he got. Still he want to be more hatred on them, and he sees to be more envy towards them. So he tried several other ways, like while in the Radhasuyagna, and when Shishpala insulted Krishna, Krishna, as he bared 100 districts of Shishpala and he killed Shishpala, then Duryodhana felt insulted, and he went on for a war against them at that moment. But it was not the right situation. They were stepped back, but still he felt the insult of taking away the weapons from them. So then after coming home back to Hastinapur, Duryodhana has planned various other plots, like cheating them in the gambling, and sending them in exile, and disrobing Queen Draupadi. So these were all the tribulations Bhishmadeva felt Pandavas should not have suffered this much. They have undergone severe tribulations, and always they are protected by Supreme Lord Hare Krishna, because they followed the religion and dharma. So Bhishmadeva exclaims in this shloka, Aho Kastam, Aho Anyayam. Oh, how terrible and how injustice is done towards you. He was feeling very grief towards the Pandavas. And we may get doubt, like, why do only righteous persons suffer? The Pandavas were the son of, as you have mentioned, the son of religion personified, or dharma personified. Yudhishthira, the son of Yamaraja, knew dharma perfectly, yet was repeatedly cheated because he was refused to deviate from righteousness. Even Bhima once protested upon Yudhishthira, "Brother, why are you being so righteous when others cheat you?" But still Yudhishthira never left Dharma and never compromised in following Dharma. Lord also gives the pains and sufferings to the capacity of the devotees, and he knows how well his devotees can bear that pain, and how the devotees take the shelter of Krishna more intensely towards him in that time. So Krishna makes the devotees suffer. And what to speak of Pandavas, when we see over in the Parampara Acharyas, how Srila Prabhupada has suffered a lot while he was traveling to USA and Western countries, and still after then he has faced a lot of difficulties over here in spreading the message of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But still Krishna is with him, and Krishna has given his ultimate protection to him. So the one real life analogy I would like to quote is like, sometimes in our workplace or society, honesty seems to cost us advancement or comfort, but the Lord observes everything. How is your intention? How is the situation, and how are you dealing with that? Everything Lord observes as Paramatma within you. And Dharma may not give immediate results, but it gives eternal protection. And even the famous quote is Dharma Rakshita Rakshita. So if you protect Dharma, Dharma will be protecting you. And we have also seen many pastimes in Shrimadbhagavatam related to Prahlad Maharaj, how he was being tortured by his father, but still he was protected by Lord in a very lowest form, Narasimhadeva form, and his divine protection is always with him. And even in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Haridas Thakura being suffered beatings in 22 different places, marketplaces, but still he did not stop chanting, he did not stop his devotional service. And Pandavas, as we have seen the various tribulations, but still Krishna showed his protection even in his absence through his devotees like Vidura. All show that Krishna protection is not the absence of suffering, it's survival through suffering. Then, so in this we understand like there were sufferings not only for other people, other non-devotees or something. There were sufferings to all persons. So it is common, the sufferings are very common in this material world, but Lord gives more and more sufferings to the devotees because he understands the nature of the devotees. And he, suppose if in a general public someone gets any small misery or some small problem, they immediately try to blame God. God, why have you given this? Why only me have to suffer and all the tribulations? But a devotee, a pure devotee understands this might be some of my previous karma that have committed, and due to the result of my previous karma, and also the Lord has reduced a lot of pain for me. I was just suffering a little pain. I was supposed to suffer a lot of pain, but being merciful on me, Lord has reduced a lot of pain on me. So next we are going to see the secret of protection. What is the secret of protection? As here mentioned, Vipra Dharma Chita Ashraya. So Vipra means protection by Brahmana. The blessings and guidance of saintly devotees saved Pandavas repeatedly. Examples are when there was plot of burning the wax building. Vidura warned them of the wax palace plot. He gave the hint of sending a rat to the wax palace secretly, and so they understood it was something suspicious of this building, and they immediately found a way to escape from there. And then we see in the disrobing of Queen Draupadi's prayers drew divine mercy. She surrendered to Krishna at that time, and Krishna, being very merciful on her, provided her unlimited sari and avoided her insult. The mercy of sages like Vyasadeva and Daumya guided them during exile. Even during exile also there were so many troubles and sufferings. There were many instances where Duryodhana had made several possible ways to make suffer Pandavas. But still, due to the mercy of Brahmanas and sages, they were being protected. Brahmanas are like the spiritual nervous system of society, connecting humans to God through their wisdom and prayers. So, just as we take the help of GPS navigation or Google navigation while we are going to a destination or while we are going to a place, which guides us safely through a complex road network. It shows us safe and easiest path, and if there are any accidents or if there are something danger, immediately it shows like something road work is going on or something is happening. So similarly, Brahmanas guide us through this moral maze of life. They show how to lead a good life, how to progress in the spiritual life. And then comes the dharma, protection by dharma. As you all know, the famous quote, dharmo rakshati rakshitaha. So dharma protects those who protect it. Yudhishthira chose dharma even when it led to temporary loss. Because he upheld righteousness, he remained under the unseen shield of Lord's law. Every time he followed dharma, he did not lose the following of dharma, even though he faced many problems, many sufferings, many miseries, but still he did not leave the path of dharma. And even in Bhagavad Gita it is mentioned, yato dharmas tato jaya, where there is dharma there is victory. This is a conclusion of Mahabharata. Even apparent defeat becomes divine success. Following dharma seems to be difficult at certain times, but still if you try to be determined to follow that, it eventually leads success in your life one day. The modern analogy I could quote is like when you try to sow a seed into the ground, initially for a few days it might not give the sapling, but eventually after you regularly take care of it, if you nurture it properly and if you supply water and essential nutrient through it, slowly eventually after a few days, after a few weeks it will grow sapling, and slowly after a few years it will grow and it will give you whatever it's been sown for, like flowers or fruits or vegetables, something like that. So initially it appears like it's not growing, but still it's growing from internally. So similarly, when dharmic people suffer, the Lord is preparing them for their future blossoming. We don't know how Lord's plan is. Like sometimes we may be put into some circumstances, but still we should understand that this is the Lord's plan for us and something good is awaiting for us, something greater. And then comes the supreme, like protection by Achyuta, Krishna. Achyuta means the infallible, supreme Lord Krishna. The Pandavas, whose greatest asset was Krishna's friendship and association with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When Draupadi's disrobing was happened, and we all know how Krishna has supplied and how he has protected Queen Draupadi. And even when Arjuna was in danger, when he was happened to be in war, he is still protected by several means. Like we all know how Arjuna took a vow to kill Jayadratha in war before sunset, but still due to the fully equipped Duryodhana and he was fully planned to cover Jayadratha till the sunset. it was almost about to sunset, but still Krishna has blocked the sun with his Sudarshan Chakra and made feel like it is sunset so that Jayadratha would come out. And then he ordered Arjuna, he immediately removed Sudarshan Chakra and he ordered Arjuna to go and kill Jayadratha. So he can go to whatever extent he wants to protect his devotees. And even he quotes in Bhagavad Gita, like he says Arjuna to say this, like Kaunteya Pratijanahi Name Bhakta Pranashyati. Because at times he may break his vow, as we have seen in the war, like he break his vow of lifting a weapon, like he was trying to throw a chariot wheel on Bhishma Dev. So sometimes he may break his vow, but still, if a devotee promises, he will go to whatever extent possible to keep that promise alive. So that is the situation. And Krishna's guidance in every crisis proves his divine shelter to his devotees. And Arjuna declared it boldly that Krishna's devotee never perishes. So we'll also see in the further cantos of Shrimadbhagavatam where Gajendra Moksha, the elephant, which was caught by crocodile in a helpless condition, but as soon as it started praying Lord in a humble and very sweet way, then Lord immediately, not even waiting for Garuda, he immediately came there and tried to save the Gajendra from the crocodile. This protection not came by strength but by surrender. When we surrender to Supreme Lord, the protection of His is being assured and is guaranteed. And then Bhishma's instruction to Yudhishthira, the path beyond despair. Bhishma Deva is consoling Yudhishthira. Yudhishthira, please do not lament. The war was not for ambition, but for establishing Dharma. It was necessary to establish Dharma and religious principles. Those who die in such a cause attain spiritual perfection. We all know all the people who lost their lives in the war, they immediately got liberated because they lost their lives in front of Krishna, Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. He reminds Yudhishthira, Bhishmadeva reminds Yudhishthira that while external circumstances seemed unjust, internally divine justice was at work. It was divine plan of Krishna that war has to take place. The lesson for all devotees is like, as long as one cooperates with the will of Lord, guided by saintly persons and Dharma, there is no cause for despondency. As long as we do not deviate with the rules and regulations and from the path of devotional service, there is no harm for us and there is supreme protection always for us. And Prabhupada even writes, as long as one is in full cooperation with the wishes of Lord, one has no cause for disappointment, however trying the circumstances of life. We have seen in the last chapter how Queen Kunti has prayed for welcoming, she asked for calamities after calamities. Because in calamities, the pure devotees take more and more intense shelter of Krishna, they pray intensely, they more intensely attached to Krishna. So the calamities are also helping devotees to attach more and more to Krishna, getting more and more closer to Krishna. So this is the Bhishma spirit, to see divine mercy even in distress. So the conclusion, the key takeaways is what is Bhishma's real message? Suffering of righteousness is not failure, it is divine favor. Protection comes not from comfort, but from connection. Connection with saints, brahmanas, dharma and God. The Pandavas' survival itself is the proof that God protection is always upon them. The key points are, tests are part of divine design. They refine but not destroy us. Never abandon dharma for convenience. Sometimes it is easy to leave dharma in some circumstances. It's hard to be honest at all circumstances. But still, if you stand by dharma, the whole world turns towards you, and the whole nature and whole everything supports you. And also the ultimate one is like staying in divine shelter with sadhus and Krishna is the ultimate protection. Now I would like to read the glories of appearance of RadhaKund, Bahulashtami. Today is very auspicious day. So this is from Sri RadhaKundastakam by Srimad Raghunath Das Goswami. So after the killing of Aristasura, Srimati Radhika and her Sakis exchanged many joking words with Sri Krishna concerning the necessary atonement for one who has committed the offense of killing a bull. As a result, the queen of Vrindavana, Srimati Radhika, and her Sakis joyfully excavated and filled Sri Radhakunda with their own hands. May that immensely fragrant Radhakunda be my shelter. In the land of hearts of those who bathe in RadhaKund, a desire tree of the superlative prema, which is not attainable even for Krishna's principal queens in Dwaraka, will arise. May that supremely charming RadhaKunda be my shelter. For pleasure of Srimati Radhika, even Sri Krishna himself yearned to attain her merciful sidelong glance, regularly baths in RadhaKunda. Carefully observing all appropriate rituals, may that supremely enchanting RadhaKunda be my shelter. May that supremely enchanting RadhaKunda, which the moon of Vraja, Sri Krishna, loves as much as he loves the crown jewel amongst the sweet girls of Vraja, Srimati Radhika, and which he has made known by the name of Radhika herself, be my shelter. The mercy obtained by serving RadhaKunda makes the desired creeper of Prema for the prince of Vraja sprout, and is celebrated for bearing the flower of service to my Swamini, Srimati Radhika. May that supremely charming RadhaKunda be my shelter. Gloriously manifest on the banks of RadhaKunda are 8 kunjas named after Radhika's principal Sakis, acting as stimuli for the amorous pastimes of divine couple. These kunjas are filled with sweet humming of bumblebees and are desired by everyone. May that supremely enchanting RadhaKunda be the shelter of my life. Situated on an exquisite dais on the bank of RadhaKunda and accompanied by her loved Sakis, our Swamini Srimati Radhika charmingly engages in sweet, joking words with Sri Krishna, the moon of Vraja. These playful verbal exchanges are enhanced by the suggestion of so many innuendos. May that RadhaKunda be the shelter of my life. May that very charming and especially fragrant RadhaKunda, where intoxicated with love, the divine couple and the Sakis daily sport with great joy in the water so fragrant with the exquisite lotus flowers, be the sole shelter of my life. To the devotee who is resolute mood of aspiring to serve Srimati Radhika, reads this charming prayer describing Sri Radhakunda. Even in their present body, Sri Krishna will quickly grant them darshan of not only his beloved Radhika but also of their many variegated amorous pastimes. Witnessing these pastimes and envisioning himself serving Yugala Kishora in various ways, such a devotee will feel immense jubilation. This Astaka is recited in the poetic meter known as Malini. So today is the 8th day of waning phase of Damodar month. The appearance of RadhaKunda is celebrated by the residents. Bathing in RadhaKunda is especially beneficial on this day. By this, one gains the favor of Radha, by which one gains the favor of Krishna. RadhaKunda appeared at midnight. People go to RadhaKunda and offer prasadam, garlands and pumpkins, gods, into the river, into the water. Then, at the midnight, take bath in RadhaKunda and then bathe in Shamakunda. Many people like to bathe at the ghat where Lord Nityananda's Shakti, Janava Mata, used to bathe. But wherever you go, you better get there early as thousands of people, devotees will be there. and bring some warm clothing for afterwards, as it is so cooling. The holy place known as Mathura is spiritually superior to Vaikunta, the transcendental world, because the Lord appeared there. Superior to Mathurapuri is the transcendental forest of Vrindavana, because Krishna's Rasa Leela pastimes. And superior to the forest of Vrindavana is Govardhana hill, for it was raised by the divine hand of Sri Krishna, and was the site of his various loving pastimes. And above all, the super excellent Sri RadhaKund stands supreme, for it is overflooded with ambrosial nectarian prema of the Lord of Gokula, Sri Krishna. Where then is that intelligent person who is unwilling to serve this divine RadhaKund, which is situated at the foot of Govardhana hill? Srila Rupa Goswami's Nectar of Instruction, Upadeshamritam. The origin of RadhaKund. After killing a bull demon named Aristasura, Krishna approached Radharani to engage in loving affairs. However, she rebuked him, stating he was impure because of committing the sin of killing a bull, the symbol of religion. She suggested that to counteract this sin, he should bathe in all sacred rivers. Krishna, being eager to engage in loving affairs with Srimati Radharani, immediately shoved his lotus foot into the ground, making a large hole, and called all sacred rivers to enter into it. They appeared before him and formed Shyamakunda, the bathing place of Shama, one who is the color of dark rain cloud. After bathing, Krishna stated that he had become pure by bathing in Shamakunda, but that gopis had become impure, having sided with the demon, even though he appeared in the form of bull. Radharani, along with some of her gopi friends, broke their bangles and dug a hole with the broken pieces, but there was no water, so Krishna laughed. The gopis then formed a line to the Mansi Ganga and started to fill the hole with water that was passed from one gopi to another. At that time, all the sacred rivers again arrived in person and requested permission to enter into Radharani's Kunda, which they did after receiving Radharani's blessings. Hare Krishna. Very good to know the appearance of RadhaKund Bahulashtami. Yeah. How gopis and Radharani made such an arrangement instantly with their bangles, and they made a way from Mansi Ganga. And even after making a way also, Mansi Ganga waited for Radharani's permission. And after getting permission and blessings from Srimati Radharani, then formed the RadhaKund. So Shyamkund and RadhaKund were formed. It's very good to know. And in Nectar of Instruction, that's mentioned like Mathura, Vrindavan, Govardhan Hill, above all, like that's RadhaKund, which is the very dear place to Srimati Radharani and Krishna. Hare Krishna. Any questions or comments?
Going back to that open book, I'd like to two comments. One, like comfort comes from connection, right? And stuff. And I feel like that's very much true. Like just noticing, like when we have the ability to have devotee association, like what type of feeling we get versus like, you know, sometimes the association in other areas are not always as good. Even sometimes within family, you can see sometimes association is strained and stuff. Somehow or another, like when we association with devotees, like how it just becomes like such a different environment and stuff. Not that there's no issues with devotees sometimes, but like for the general part. So I like that comfort comes from connection. And then, like, I felt like duties, like to do your duty, your dharma is important. But, like in this day and age, like I feel like people don't always know what their duty is anymore. I don't know, there's so much confusion, like, and stuff. So how can one find out what their duty is?
In the current scenario, in current society, you are asking?
Yeah, like how best we can, even like in our day-to-day lives of more part of society.
The best thing I can say is like, the mercy of spiritual masters, with guidance of spiritual masters and senior devotees and our mentors. They can not only guide us in spiritual path, but our mentors can guide us whenever we are in distress. I mean, whenever we are in confusion and dilemma, like how to handle the situation. Sometimes we know, but when we try to handle it in a other roughly manner, the situations may become even more worse than now. So by taking association of devotees and even sometimes reading scriptures can also reveal, Krishna reveals solutions through the scriptures to us. And yeah, ultimately Radha's protection and surrendering unto him, he take care of devotees. Good question, Radha.
And the source of like, we meet so many people at like doing, sometimes even like college kids and stuff like that, many of them don't know what they're doing. You're like, right, like the youth, this new generation that's coming up. Sometimes they're even confused about themselves, who they are. So what does people, what you're supposed to do in life and stuff like that. So it's guidance. Spiritual guidance is extremely important. So to have good guides, also, where can we get good guides?
Surrounded by the souls, which like get association of the souls, which takes good, provides good guidance for you, and acts like a protection for us from the other problems. And following the varnashrama also helps a lot, like brahmacharya ashrama, grihastha ashrama, sannyasa ashrama, vanaprastha ashrama. Following rules and regulations mentioned in scriptures may sometimes feel difficult, but if we try to follow sincerely, it eventually leads to a good life free of problems. And you asked me in the young age, what I think is, even in scriptures also it is mentioned, like starting of your knowing bhakti, what is real purpose from at a young age, as we see from devotees, children, how they are from at young age itself, they are engaging in kirtans and devotional service. They learn from their parents, and whatever the parents teach them, and the parents are doing very much sincerely, they take the process also very seriously, and they try to engage themselves. Through that, they can understand what's the right to do and what not to do, and how to deal the situations in a better and efficient way. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Granthara Shrimadbhagavatam ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Thank you, Prabhupada.